What's up, Muscle and Strength? This is four-time world's strongest man, Brian Shaw, and we are going to cook some breakfast. First thing I do is I kind of set everything out. I like to have it all ready when I start the cooking process. So the first thing we got here is just some grass-fed butter. Kind of just coat the pan with that, and then use it mainly to cook the spinach in. I want the fat from the butter. Just go with the butter, no cooking spray at all for me. And then as far as this is just some organic baby spinach, so I just kind of essentially make an omelet. You know, it's not exactly an omelet, but throw the spinach in first and let that cook. Normally just kind of do a handful. It's crazy how spinach cooks down. When you start cooking it, it looks like, oh man, the pan's fairly full, and it'll cook down to almost nothing. Get it all kind of coated in the butter here. I've already got the rice set and cooked. Sometimes I'll actually have two different rice makers and I'll set it on a time delay. So I've always got fresh rice. I never reheat the rice. I like to just have it fresh. So every meal that I have rice with, which is basically almost every one of my meals, I have fresh rice for that. Once that's cooked down, then we throw the eggs in here. So we'll get going with the eggs, and I'll do 8 whole eggs with this. Yeah, so we got 8 eggs in. Next ingredient here will just be cheddar cheese. So I just take 1 slice of cheese here, and then I just break it up into pieces. You just kind of throw it in. Got that going, and then I just scramble it from there. Really, with eating a lot of eggs, it's that I think is important if you're trying to eat them in a big quantity, is not to overcook the eggs. So overcooked eggs are much harder to eat than eggs that are a little bit softer and have more moisture in them. So I always try my best when I'm cooking this to not overcook it, just kind of leave it a little bit softer so it's just easier for me to get down. And then what I do is grab a bowl, here, and then just throw all of these eggs into the bowl. Yeah, it's perfect. So now we've got the eggs done. What I'll do is I'll go over here and get some rice next. So as I said, this is all already cooked. Normally I'll cook like 2 to 3 cups of rice, something like that, of dry rice, and then I can typically get at least 2 meals out of it, maybe 3, you know, depending on how much rice I'm eating. And then I'll start a fresh batch and go with that. Or like I said, I'll have 2 rice makers set up, and I'll just time delay the second one so it starts cooking, you know, maybe 3 hours after my last meal, so that I can eat and have rice ready at all times. So what I'll do is, at this point, I mean, I've kind of know how much a cup is. So right about like that is about a cup of rice. So I'll do that, and then do another one here. So typically with this, I'll have, you know, kind of roughly between 2.5 cups of rice. And then I just grab a spoon, and then I'll normally just mix it up all together. So for me, for a number of years, I would actually consume, and you may have seen videos out there of me eating a large quantity of oatmeal and eggs for breakfast, and I did that for years. And the oatmeal for me was a lot harder to digest, and it was just, my body seemed to not agree with it very well at all. So I forced that down for a lot of years, and I've been much happier switching over, you know, with the rice, because it's easier to digest it, and I can move on, and I can actually get more food in, and I feel better. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors there. You know, if you've been, you know, kind of forcing the oatmeal because you feel like maybe that's the only way to go, you know, throw some rice in. The other thing you can do is throw some sweet potatoes in, because those are great carb source as well. So you could mix that in, maybe do a combination of rice and sweet potatoes with, you know, with your omelet. That's another great idea. So just a couple things to play with, but you know, if you're struggling with digestion, it's something that you don't necessarily have to fight through. And a lot of times when you're struggling like that, it means that your body's, you know, not liking what you're eating. So, so maybe it's time to switch it up and try something different. So give this a shot, and hopefully it works for you.